So when you're first setting up your camera, a lot of you might have a problem with the gain and ISO setting here. So you have a couple options. You can set it at gain or ISO. So let me just talk about that in general. In video, there really is no such thing as ISO. That's just kind of a holdover from the old film and photography days. And so for photographers who feel more comfortable measuring the sensitivity of the sensor in ISO, that's perfectly fine. But in this class, and for most video people, it really is talked about in terms of gain. And so you'll hear us use that interchangeably. And again, it's kind of like, measuring temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit. You're still measuring temperature, it's just two different ways of doing it, and that's what we're doing here. So we're going to do gain. And the reason we do gain, just so you know, is that if you have this on gain and you have it set for 0 dB, no matter what setting you're in, that's the base or native ISO. Now, every camera is set up to operate at it's called a base or native ISO, and that's where the camera's set up to operate. It's an optical optimum performance. You're getting the least amount of noise, which is the big issue with gain and ISO, raising it up and down. You're getting the best color reproduction, you're getting the best contrast reproduction, and that goes hand in hand with getting the most dynamic range out of the camera. It's limited in Cinetone. It's a lot better than Rec 709, but it's limited in Cinetone to only about 10.5 stops. Your eye can see 20 to 24. So the philosophy should always be that you want to try to shoot in video at the base or native ISO whenever possible, and that allows you to get the cleanest looking image. And why wouldn't you want to get the cleanest looking image? So if you, instead of bumping up your ISO or gain, so learn how to light better or shoot at a faster lens. Anything you can do, and use the bumping up of the ISO or gain as a last resort only. So here's the deal. So if you go into your main menu setting, hold the button down for a second, and you go into your user, and I'm going to use my multifunction tab on the top of my camera. Go into user, and then you're going to go down over it right into ISO gain. Click right into that, and the very first thing is mode. So here you can change it between ISO and gain. So all you got to do is flip this down to dB, hit that, and then go menu to get out of that, and now you see you're at 0 dB, and that's related to the switch on the side of the camera, LMH, low, medium, high, and it goes from low at 0 dB, medium at 6 dB, and high at 12 dB. Now you're going to keep that at 0 dB in this class, unless you're shooting time-lapse outside at night, then you might want to bump that up, but we always should see that, and if you have it on anything other than low, you'll lose 5 points. And if we see like M or H up there and it's not at the 6 or 12 dB, then you will lose points as well on that. So 6 dB, by the way, every time you increase your gain 6 dB, you add a stop more sensitivity to your sensor. So, when we go to 0, that's the base. This is 1 stop, that's 2 stops. So, and you can see that in the waveform monitor, and you can see that in the image quality there. So that's as simple as it gets.